Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Power Up Happy Hour. This is Ricky.
This is Ben.
Raj.
And today we are going to talk about Stranger Things 2. And as always, let's begin with the cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah.
We are missing Saber today. So.
Yeah, Saber's, he's taking care of his mom. She's sick. All right.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Saber.
Get better, Mama Nuber.
Mama Nuber. All right, so this is going to be heavily spoilers. Because all we're going to be talking about is everything in the show. And we're going to be ruining a lot of stuff if you
Go watch
watched it. I mean,
So turn this off if you don't.
it's been out for like, what, 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's plenty of time.
Here, we'll
Yeah.
give you 5 seconds.
I finished it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Which is a lot better because when we did the first one, it took Ben forever to finish it.
That is very true. I didn't even finish it before we did that one.
It's like when we try to make Ben watch Back to the Future.
Oh, God, yeah. And then our friend actually bought it for you, and you still never watched it.
I did watch it.
But it took you a while.
It did take me a while. I didn't watch it till I moved to New York.
True. All right. So, let's start off. Did you like the season? Ben, did you like the
Yes,
season?
I did.
Raj, did you like it?
I was indifferent. I was
You're
indifferent.
indifferent,
Yeah.
huh?
I liked it, and I liked parts of it, and then other parts I was like, oh, we could have maybe not used that, or, that could have been
True.
cut off.
Yeah. I like the season a lot. As always, I think the first season was way better. But I did like how they kind of like went out and did different things this season. Like, it wasn't like the first season was like finding out what 11 is and finding Will at the same time. But this time you have a whole bunch of different things going on.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed kind of the plot of this one better, even if they probably didn't execute it as well as they did the plot of the first
Yeah.
one. But I think I enjoyed kind of where this one was going and the whole idea that the Upside Down world was kind of spreading out and this
Oh, yeah, that was
mind
badass.
flayer is kind of taking over, and there's all these demo dogs like coming out. Like that whole part of it, I thought was really cool, and I thought was really well done. I personally got into this season much quicker than I did the first season, but I do still think the first season is probably overall better. I didn't actually have a problem with that 7th episode, that infamous episode. That
Is
a
it
lot
7
of people,
or 8?
It's episode 7. You're talking about
Yes.
the one that's like not set really in Hawkins at all.
It's with 11 and
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
I
It's like a
actually
spin-off show.
Yeah. I actually didn't have a problem with that. I kind of viewed it as that. I think that's a test for what's going to happen next season.
It took me a while to figure out I didn't know any of those characters, like those people playing them. But the big black dude, the bodybuilder dude, that's Kai Green?
From...
Like the bodybuilder.
I
That's
didn't know
him.
that. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, look at him getting into acting and stuff.
I mean, he didn't say much, but...
Yeah, but I liked it a lot. Episode 7 was probably an okay one.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it as much as everyone did, but I still wish they stayed in Hawkins. Like that was interesting stuff to me.
To me, what I really liked about Stranger Things, the first season, was the kids, right? The kids were always together, like doing things together. And this season, they're spread out.
That is
like,
true.
They're in
Yeah.
groups,
They were
right?
way more separated.
Yeah,
this
so
season.
you have Dustin and Steve, right? Like they're in their own little area because like remember they get caught in that junkyard.
Yeah.
And then you have what's her name, Nancy, and then what's
Oh,
his
yeah,
name?
Nancy.
and they're doing their
Jonathan.
own thing, and they're with
Jonathan,
with that weird creepish lawyer.
Yeah.
Right, and then you have Mike, and Mike's with Will and his mom, and then Bob, right? So, and then Lucas is with
Max.
Mad Max, right?
Mad
So
Max,
it's like people are kind of spread out. The whole thing about
Yeah.
when I saw the trailer, because you see them in the Ghostbusters outfit, I thought they're gonna be together the whole time,
Yeah.
and like be in those costumes for a while. So I got
That was hilarious though when they went to the school and no one else was dressed up.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Because the trailer set it up like something big was happening at the school, but it was just kids being kids. Like they got the wrong information.
Yeah, and I like that. I understand their point of having like a human, antagonist. But I didn't really see that. Billy, like the Red Power Ranger.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't
his
think you
storyline
really needed him to be a bad guy.
I think that was more for Steve to develop.
Yeah.
But I felt like Steve was kind of like more of the hero of this season than anyone else.
I think Steve's my favorite character.
That's what everyone's saying. Like first season you hated Steve, and this season you're kind of like, look at him, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took Dustin under his wing and he gave him my hair product and shit.
Yeah,
I was like, "All right."
So, how do I want to phrase this? So, how about some of the stuff that like we read about afterwards? Like,
All right,
we were just talking about it.
Yeah, so there's a BuzzFeed article that talks about how the whole season is littered with Easter eggs.
Yeah.
From everything. Ben, what did you want to get into about that?
Oh, I was talking about how just kind of the articles have come out from like the producer and everything they're talking about things that like
that
were
didn't
different
happen,
to begin.
yeah.
So specifically, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob was not a major character in this season originally. He was going to die like second or third episode. The scene where he's kind of driving Will in the car and he's giving him the advice of how when he used to get bullied, he eventually just stopped and told them to go away, and that worked for him. And that scene originally, Will was supposed to just outright kill him, and
That's
so evil
crazy.
Will was going to come out way earlier, which personally I think would have been kind of awesome. That's probably my one knock on the show was the first couple episodes, the first 3 episodes, there is nothing happening creepy really at all. I'm just like, what's the monster? What's it going to be? Like, even though you didn't quite see the Demogorgon early on in the first season, you knew of it and you knew there was a monster kind of pretty quickly.
What do they call the spider-looking thing? Mind Liar?
Mind Flayer.
Mind Flayer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mind Flyer or something
I
like
think
that.
they could have
Something
used
like that.
like another monster. Like I know that the Demodogs were going to be a Demogorgon, right?
Yeah.
But I think they could have used another monster because I think people fall in love with the fact that there's new episodes and they're going to like them no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Until you actually go and critique them, like, wait, this is kind of like the same thing, right? But you have this other bigger monster. And even at the end of the show, like the monster's still there, right?
Yeah.
You know how he like
Still
kinda
there.
turns back
Yeah.
upside down.
And I think one of the articles was talking about how the monster, Mind Flyer or whatever, like he did not know about 11, and so he was always after Will until at the end of the last episode where 11 closes the thing on him, the gate, and then he finally sees like there's someone there with powers. So they're saying that he's stalking 11 now. So I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do in the 3rd season because how many seasons? Like 4 or 5.
I think there's going to be.
They're
2 more
set
seasons.
for like 4 or 5. That's what I know.
I think they should cut up. I mean, have you seen 11? She's like 6'4" now.
Yeah, I do like how they're not going continuous. They're like, hey, this happened a year ago because the show came out a year ago.
because they're about to grow up. You know, they're getting tall. and
which
stuff
is
like that.
which is fine. Like build that into the plot and let that be that. So I kind of agree. Like I don't mind necessarily if they do kind of follow this potential rumor of next season's not in Hawkins anymore.
Yeah,
but I think the easiest way to keep people into the show and keep it growing is to use the characters people know and love, even if that means you age them.
Yeah.
Like, I think people would be okay with that.
We definitely need character development. I don't think we got enough of that in this season.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we got plenty
I
of
thought
that.
this was a lot of character development.
we
I thought
see
early
different
on that's
characters
all
do-
your character.
Yeah.
Like this, Dustin, that's like this entire season's about his development pretty much. You get a lot of
Because the first,
I'm thinking of Nancy and kind of what's
but see,
name?
Nancy
They don't do
and
much.
Jonathan had a bigger role in the first season.
Yeah.
because they were hunting for Barb.
That's
That's
they
true, yeah.
weren't very big in this season, but Steve,
Which I'm okay with.
Steve had a lot of character development in this
Yeah.
one. Dustin had a ton.
Steve and Dustin, they're definitely
They
good
introduced
characters.
Max, and so we had to learn a little bit about her character. And
They didn't really explain the whole.
But like Lucas is kind of the same. You know, Mike's kind of the same.
yeah, some of them are the same, but I just think. Yeah,
'Cause-
Mike didn't really change much.
Mike's
Will,
the
we
same.
got a lot of Will. We
Yeah.
got a ton.
He's
like
good.
really,
He's a good actor.
He
You know?
is very good.
Like,
at
he
it.
was
All those
scary.
kids are good actors.
When he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he likes it cold," I was like, "Holy shit, it's kind of."
I just couldn't. I kept laughing when I was watching this early on. Every time Mike opened his mouth, because I was just expecting him to make a sex joke like he did in It.
Oh yeah,
I just kept laughing, like thinking about it. He's about to make a dick joke.
yeah. I like Max a lot though. It took her a while to get in the show, but I like her a lot. Like she was a very good character.
She was good.
Yeah. But the thing I didn't understand is like her stepbrother kept blaming her for something. I don't know if I missed it or they just never explained it. It was something about their step parents or something like that.
They explained it on when she's on the roof of the bus when they're trying to catch the dart.
Yeah.
The Demodog. They kind of explained it there. I'm blanking on the exact reason why, but essentially it comes down to the fact that he's actually mad at the mom, but she's not around.
Yeah.
So he takes it out on her.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Also, what was her brother's name?
Billy.
Billy.
He's a Red Power Ranger.
He's a Red Power Ranger from the Power Rangers movie. Did
Yeah.
not notice that at all until like someone
Like,
pulled
he's
it up.
supposed to be a good guy.
Yeah. He almost smashed Nancy's mom. Like I was like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's okay. I don't think we needed him that much. I would love more Steve. I know Steve kind of.
Steve took
Yeah,
over.
Steve
Steve
took
took over.
over,
Like when
which
he
I
was
love.
like when they showed Steve, you're like, I want to see more of Steve. Like when him and Dustin are hanging out, those are probably like one of my favorite scenes.
He was the character who, after the first season, like I think blew up the most. Like he was in everything. He's in those Domino's commercials.
Well,
He's
I think it's
all
also
over the
because
place.
he looks like John Ralphio from Parks and
Yeah.
Rec.
Yeah,
That was
he
another
does.
thing.
That should be a sitcom.
Yeah, I think they're talking about like, oh, there's also a theory. I don't know if anyone watches Parks and Rec, but that there's like a theory that Stranger Things is connected to Parks and Rec, where like Steve is actually John Ralphio's dad.
Oh my gosh.
And then like Nancy grows up to be like Leslie Knope's mom or something like that. And I was like, that's actually pretty dope. And it all takes place in Indiana.
Oh, that's true.
True. But
So Hawkins is Eagleton or
yeah. So one of the things I want to get into was the Easter eggs, because there's a lot. One of my favorite Easter eggs is one I didn't even notice until I read the article, was so the relationship between Hopper and Eleven. It's a father-daughter relationship, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you see at the end of the series that he adopts her.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
He adopts her. And one of the main things I didn't realize was in the first season, you see Hopper's daughter die, right? What I didn't notice is she's wearing a headband, a blue headband, like a blue hair tie.
I don't remember.
See, here's the thing: she's wearing a blue headband, and like Hopper's always playing with it when he's talking on the phone, right? End of season 2, Eleven's wearing it on her wrist at the dance. So like Hopper gave it to her like you're my daughter now kind of thing, and I was like, I was reading it at work. I was like, don't get emotional at work. I was like, don't tear up. Go back to your Excel sheets. But I was like, there's that.
Ricky, why are you crying?
Yeah.
No one's getting their benefits this year.
Oh man.
Were there any other Easter eggs y'all noticed? There's a lot of 80s movies.
Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Is all the 80s references. Like you get a bunch of alien references.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're going down in the tunnel and they have like those blowtorches, and they say "Stay frosty." That's that's a line from the Alien.
That's awesome.
Even the doctor that plays Will's doctor,
Yeah,
he was in the first Alien.
he's the first Alien movie.
Yeah, I think he's the bad guy in that one too.
Obviously, Max is Mad Max's name. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
an 80s movie.
Yeah. That's perfect.
So there was like I think they talked about. You guys ever seen the movie Evil Dead? It's like a really scary movie.
I love that.
No,
movie.
but I've
80s
heard about
version?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you know how you get that camera angle when they're down in the tunnels and it's like snaking.
Yes,
The tunnels.
yes.
That's a lot
Oh,
of Evil
yeah,
Dead
yeah.
stuff,
That's
right?
crazy. I
So
didn't even think about
they
that.
get a lot of stuff from that. So I love all the 80s references in the movies.
I think
that's
one of the
a cool
coolest
touch.
things about Stranger Things in general is like I don't even think people are realizing that like all these creatures and everything, all these monsters, they're naming them after things from like the nerdiest thing in the world, from Dungeons and Dragons.
From
Yeah.
D&D. Yeah,
Demogorgon, Mind Flayer, those are things from Dungeons and Dragons. And like they're making it mainstream and cool, which is hilarious because I think most people don't even realize that's what's happening. But
one of the things I loved was the Ghostbusters references.
Yeah.
Like they're wearing Ghostbusters costumes, and I think someone said if you look in the background of Mike's room, there's a Ghostbusters certificate. Like he actually like signed up for a class and everything.
That's awesome.
And the fact that they caught the little like demodog
yeah,
in like a Ghostbusters trap,
Yeah,
that was
the
badass.
that's amazing.
One of the things that was interesting was the whole like connection between Dustin and the Demodog. Like,
Yeah, dude, love that thing.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
And he was like trying to keep it away. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this thing's bad. It came out of Will's mouth.
Which I didn't even notice that. Like, I remember him throwing it up in the first season,
Yeah.
and I thought it just went away.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to end up in Dustin's garbage can.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, there's a connection for that. And then when Will saw it, he was like, fuck, I know what that thing
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Dude, one thing is like the production quality this season. Obviously,
I
bigger
was
budget.
a few episodes. I was like, "This looks like a movie."
It looks
like,
amazing.
really,
Like,
like, the way
upside
it looks
down,
so good.
When
Yeah.
he has those things, those seizures or whatever he has, and like he automatically goes into the upside down. It looks amazing.
I think
dude.
more than anything that just shows like how successful Netflix is because there's only like one real like TV producer like company that's HBO who's able to really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Game of Thrones looks amazing,
Yeah.
and so now Netflix. I mean, you can clearly tell. We all know they're super successful, but now they're able to spend these big budget like special effects on their
That's
shows.
good. They did a great job doing that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is movie quality stuff.
I was trying to find this other kind of mention that was in here. It was essentially about particles of evil.
Those little flaky things that you see floating around
Yeah,
everywhere.
and how like you see that Will is saved from them, like they fly out, but then like in the scene, what you're seeing is that they emerge out, but not in the upside down into the actual world, and how that's now
yeah.
something that's unresolved and going to have to be resolved. There's now particulates of evil that originally were only in the Upside Down, just now in the regular world.
Okay.
So
I do like how they did the whole. There were a lot of similarities between the first season and the second season, like how 11 came in at the end to save everyone. Same thing happened in the first one, and I kind of wish they went a different way, because I remember the first season when they set the trap between Nancy, Steve, and Jonathan. When they set the first trap, that was a badass scene.
It really
and I was kind of hoping for something like that in this one, but you didn't really get it. I mean, you kind of. The closest thing you get is when Hopper's trapped and he's trying to get out of the what do you call it? The vines?
yes,
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
I thought someone big was like, gonna die.
Yeah, the entire time I really did. I actually thought, God, I'm blanking on his name.
Bob?
No, he's one of the team. He was on with Mad Max. They were on the top of the bus.
Lucas?
Yes, Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking on his name for some reason. I don't know why, but I honestly thought in that scene, I thought he was gonna die.
Oh yeah,
I thought someone was gonna die on that bus.
Well, yeah,
I thought,
especially when all those Demodogs showed up. At
Yeah.
first, I was like Steve, and I was like, nah, I think Steve's too big. I don't think they'll get rid of him yet. But I definitely
super
thought,
close because those other ones came.
Yeah.
through. I was like,
Yeah.
So I thought one of them would die, and I was like, they just have spent all this time introducing Max. It's not going to be her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, most likely it was going to be Lucas out of that group because
Yeah.
he was probably the most expendable.
I can't imagine them killing a kid though. Like I know Netflix is trying to become like a big
well,
like,
they wouldn't show it. You see that happen.
in the background maybe.
Yeah. Because I think that might actually be a thing. I don't think you can actually show children dying. You can show them dead afterwards, but I don't think you can actually show them dying.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about the whole how they made a fake will in the first season, and they try to like pass it off as a real one. I totally forgot about the whole storyline because they brought it up. Because there's something like they were trying to explain it to Max, and they were like, they put a fake body, and you like. She's like, that's bullshit. Like, there's no way that's true.
Yeah.
I was like, man, there's a lot in the first season you forget about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, after watching this, I was having to jog my memory on everything. I kind of now just want to watch the first season again.
True. Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I like how they went into the story behind Eleven's mom.
Yeah.
That was interesting. The whole what was
we see her a little bit in the first season, right?
Yeah. They talked to her, but she doesn't really have a connection.
Yeah.
She just says the same shit over and over. But this time you get into the reason why she says it, and it's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, and like the whole thing about her papa being alive and shit, like that was crazy, right?
That was so weird. Oh.
He's like, the guy was like, "I'll take you to him." I was like, "What?" There's some other shit that they're
Wait, take you to who?
That guy. Remember they go find that guy that was like they trapped 8 and 11 in that episode.
The dude with the white hair, the scientist from the first season.
Was he security guard or something like that? Whatever he was, right? And he goes, and they're about to kill him. 8 wanted to kill him. But 11 wasn't.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
goes, I'll take him to you or whatever like that. He's like, and she's like, Papa's dead or whatever. And he goes, no, he's not.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
So I was like, I don't know. Is he
That
alive?
shows how much I paid attention to episode 7.
It's like, is he alive or
Yeah.
not?
I like her power, though.
It wasn't a filler.
I like her power, how she like creates images in people's heads.
Oh, he's like, hey,
Yes.
your bathroom's flooding. And you're like, what?
Yeah. And it's crazy because I was like, man, at one point I thought she was going to come back to Hawkins and like she was going to help 11 fight.
That's what I thought.
I kind of
Mind
thought so
Flyer.
too because I mean you were seeing this new character with powers and you're just kind of like okay how is this going to tie in? It never
did tie in.
It tied into like the subplots,
I'm
but
glad-
not to the main plot.
Her plot, yeah.
I'm glad in the first scene you get to see one of the other kids.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like what 9 more kids they're supposed to show, like which I'm pretty sure some of them died in the experimentation.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, who knows what their powers are and everything like that? That's gonna be crazy when they show that. The fact
And
that
who
she
knows if all of them are going to be good? I mean, some of them might. Especially, there's particles of evil in the world. You might get one that's evil now.
that was pretty dope. What's Will's mom's name? Anyone remember?
Joyce, right?
Joyce. Joyce is becoming more of a badass.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with him drawing the tunnels or the veins.
Yeah,
or
it's the
lights,
map.
That reminded me of the Christmas lights.
Yes. Yeah,
So
it really did.
I was like, they have little connections to like the first season, but they're making them bigger and bigger. Yeah. So instead of like you get a house where Nancy, Steve, and Jonathan set a trap, you get them in a junkyard setting a trap.
Yeah.
You get Hopper and them like in a circle with weapons trying to set a trap, and then 11 throws one of those dogs through the window and shit.
God, so good.
I want to see more of 11 with her powers. I mean, I know
I do too. I want to see them kind of expand.
I know that's going to turn more into like an action show, and I think that's what they're not going to do. they're gonna let her like develop more as like a character, and then show her powers.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did. They're like, you're gonna show up at the end of the season. You're gonna,
She got
save
all
everyone.
she got all emo, like
Yeah.
goth kind of thing. Not emo, but goth.
She got like Spider-Man 3 and
got
everything.
goth, yeah,
She
yeah.
got Spider-Man 3.
Definitely. She's like bitching.
Man.
Yeah. They're
All
like, how
right.
can we make you look badass? Like, let's just slick your hair back.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you grade this season?
This season, I will give it a solid 8.
Solid 8.
I give it 7.
You give it a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna split the difference and give it a 7.5.
Oh,
Not bad.
I didn't know we could do decimals, but
You
okay.
killed it. This is just like all those IGN reviews, all those other video game reviews.
True. All right. So what do you think is going to happen in the following seasons? You read somewhere where they're not going to be in Hawkins.
Well,
anymore.
that's one of the theories because of episode 7 and because of some of the things some of the producers and directors have said.
Yeah.
Regarding how each season should be viewed as like a standalone movie in an overarching saga.
Okay.
So because of that, I think that you'll get a season that is not in Hawkins with appearances by major familiar characters. So we know Steve is graduating, so we might get Steve when he's but not in Hawkins, and we might get some of the other 11.
I mean, these kids are
and
growing.
They
yeah.
can show up, and then maybe certain scenes will go back to Hawkins. Who knows? Maybe you'll get Hopper or something like that, the adults. But I think that if they go that route, it'll be very hard to get the group in there.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is so in the first season we have a kid missing and a girl missing and like a mysterious monster running around. Second season we have the evil spreading throughout the town. And so I feel like the evil is going to get bigger and bigger, and they're going to bring somehow they have to get all 11 of those super powerful kids together to fight this thing. That's just my theory. Like eventually 11 has to find 8 again, or maybe we'll never see 8 again. Maybe she'll find another one. And
maybe there's more kids,
No, I mean there has to be more
Yeah.
kids, but if they're going to show them, who knows?
I mean, I definitely think the show ends in Hawkins, but
Yeah.
maybe like the next season, if season 4 is then maybe season 3 is all about finding the rest of those kids. And
It could
maybe
be,
mostly
yeah.
all about 11, and then season 4 comes back to Hawkins. We see the characters we haven't seen in a couple of years. They're older, they're different, and then like how things have changed. With everything at that point. Who knows?
I mean these kids are gonna. I mean, they're what are they? Middle school kids now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean
they're
they're
high school.
Yeah.
They're high school.
I'm excited to see what they do because like as the small similarities they had between seasons, it was still completely different storylines.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I was like, I wonder what they're gonna do in the third season. Like, how are they gonna change it? Like, what are they gonna do? Is it evil spreading, or it could be them fighting the other kids.
Yeah.
It could be them like a big old battle going on.
Yeah, maybe some of the other ones are not as good as
Exactly. That's
11 and 8.
what Ben was saying
Well,
earlier.
the Mind Flayer now knows that there's people with powers.
Yeah, so-
we assume that he's stalking 11, but it's also possible that he can find another kid.
So do you
and
think?
go after them.
So obviously we have the Demogorgon. Do you think the Mind Flayer is like the overall main boss in this series?
I don't know.
Or
I mean,
you think you'll see another monster?
I think you could have maybe the Mind Flayers are like the biggest bad, but maybe there's more than one. Maybe we see
True.
more, or maybe there is something worse than the Mind Flayer. Maybe the Mind Flayer wraps up next season, and in that process, we get introduced to something that's even greater, and we see throughout the
Or
season forward.
you can see something where it's like where it took over Will, right?
Yeah,
But-
I think you're gonna see more of that.
It could be something where it takes over 11. Like it gets back in, or it takes over one of the other
Yeah.
kids, and you see them
There's
like
more
that.
power to
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna say if they go the route of turning a human evil again, it has to be one of the power people because what they've done so far between the seasons is they've done something different. First season was a monster. Second season was a human antagonist.
Yeah.
Albeit he's controlled by a monster. But now they have to do something else. So if you're gonna do human antagonist again, you got to do one of the people with powers because that adds a new element to it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I think is going to happen, or what I expect to see happen in future season is one. Obviously, Will is probably free from this thing. He
True.
might be. I feel like he is, right? I think they're not going to go again with him being possessed or hopefully they don't do him like the Hangover movies with that one guy's
Oh God, yeah.
But he's free. Another thing is when Jonathan and Nancy went to that lawyer and they found all that information, and then they sent that stuff to the public. They're mailing all that stuff. So what's going to happen to Hawkins now? Is there going to be a bunch of press there?
That's true.
And like you mentioned, that
Maybe that's how the show leaves.
You know,
Maybe
honestly,
all
that
it's
could
about
be
only
what
Hawkins.
brings the kids back to Hawkins too.
yeah.
All the other like 10 or 9 kids that are.
So obviously, it's going to be people outside of Hawkins going to know what's happening in Hawkins, and then like to your point, Ben, they might do it somewhere else. But my thing is about that whole '80s kind of vibe. it always takes place in a small city. You know, it's
Yeah.
always like that vibe of like the 80s.
Oh, I definitely don't think we're going to like L.A. or New York.
Yeah.
It's going to be another small town.
Yeah, or
'Cause-
maybe like a hub center. For
Another thing we need to think about is the government part of this. It was a government agency that did these experiments. There's no way that was the only one.
Oh no, definitely.
So maybe it's like it's gonna open up and like, oh, there's other government agencies in different towns doing the same shit, and maybe the article that this guy leaked, it's gonna be like, all right, let's find out these other places that are doing it too.
Well, so there's also
and
I
Papa.
just-
We don't know about
yeah.
Papa. So
well, I just remembered.
Wait, Bob?
Papa.
Oh, Papa.
I just remembered this from it, but in the one scene, the doctor, when they're examining Will and trying to figure out what's going on with him, he refers to what's happening to him as a virus and how a virus spreads throughout the body.
Yeah.
Well, viruses are typically infectious. So, I mean, that could be a setup, too. That could be a subtle nod to what's
Yeah.
going to happen. Maybe now the virus becomes an outbreak and becomes an epidemic.
True.
And you start getting that spreading out elsewhere. Because who knows how many people the Mind Flayer can infect at one time. And maybe that's where the show goes next. Maybe the Mind Flayer is spreading his power and his place in the real world by just possessing as many people as he can.
True. Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go. Like, I'm hoping they drop another season next year, and they kind of keep a schedule where it's like we get one every year until it ends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay when this show ends because I feel like they'll do it right.
I just want them to.
Yeah, I don't want to see 6-7 seasons. I want to see
Yeah.
4
I want to see
seasons.
them stick to their plan.
So if their plan, if they have a solid reason for it to go to 6 seasons, I'm okay with that. But I don't want you changing your plan because every show that's ever gone past their original plan, we're looking at you, Supernatural. You get really.
They're at 13
What are
now.
they on?
Yeah.
Like fucking.
They're on like 13 or
13.
14. Like, but that show is supposed to end after season 5, and the first 5 seasons are wonderful. But after that, it just got so.
Yeah, I've watched the first like 3 seasons. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
But every show that goes past like its original plan ends up at some point sucking. So I'd rather this show just stay to their plan and end
Amazing.
Yeah.
What are the directors' names? I'm looking that up right now.
You gonna email them?
The twins.
The brothers.
They're twins, right?
I don't think they're twins.
Oh, I thought they were.
But either way, they do an amazing job. Like, I think the Duffer Brothers.
Duffer Brothers.
Yeah. Like, whatever they have. I think they have an ending planned.
Yeah.
So, as long as no one else changes it, we should be good.
And just don't make episodes because of money or because people
Yeah.
demand episodes.
Exactly.
You know, like
Don't
yeah,
extend it
I would
forever.
love to see more episodes, but if they're gonna be like to
Yeah.
your point, past a certain thing, I don't want to see them.
Yeah, if you have to start making up stories just to be able to sell more episodes, like there's something wrong at that point because clearly you're going off of your original plan. That's when you run into things like plot holes you can't solve, or
Yeah.
inconsistencies, things throughout. Just don't do that with this show. This show's too good.
There is another Netflix show coming out called Dark, where it's another kid going missing. There's a mystery around that town, but it's like in German. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it looks like a very darker version of Stranger Things, like a more serious version. So and like the kids are
It'll
older.
be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can pay attention to a subtitled show.
Yeah.
because I usually.
I mean, you do with anime, right? So
Yeah, but anime, I still listen, and then I do stuff, and I'm like, okay, they're still talking. Like, I'm not missing anything.
I think the next Netflix show I'll probably give that show Godless a try.
Godless was good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look pretty good. I'm not usually into the whole Western thing or whatever.
Oh, I
but
love westerns. If I can go back in
I think
time,
I'll
I'd
give
be
it
a
a try.
cowboy. I mean, I wouldn't last long because, you know, I'm not a white guy.
But yeah, no, I think ultimately Stranger Things, even with this, still one of my favorite shows. Like, yeah, this season was
great
a
show.
little bit less than
Yeah.
the first season, but I still think it was a great quality show. Not every network can come out with that. There's few other shows that I'm looking at.
It's nice to see original stuff. Like,
Yes.
like this is stuff we've never seen. But like,
Yeah.
they're taking little things from other shows, but overall, they're building something new that we've never seen.
And I think it just goes to continue to show that like Netflix is like that everyone's gonna watch Netflix
Well,
now. Netflix is
Netflix-
becoming TV.
Eventually, they said in 90% of the Netflix like material, it's going to be original shows.
Yeah.
They're not. You're not meant to binge watch old TV shows on
Oh yeah.
Netflix.
Well, that's why they cycle them off too, because
Yeah.
they want you to like not be able to continue to watch the show that you love to watch when you have nothing else. To
yeah,
binge.
they don't.
They want you to do that with their shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what makes them different from like. That's what they said about an article. Like, they don't want to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Or you just rent like
Yeah.
they want to produce and make their own show.
Well, that was how they started, and they don't want to
Yeah.
be that anymore.
Yeah.
They've
And it's
grown
it's
past
working
that.
for them. Like
And
straight.
that's why Netflix has stayed around. They continue to evolve.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We'll see what happens now. A lot of their people are getting in trouble for like House of Cards.
That is-
Louis
I
C.K.
didn't even finish this
they
season.
handled that pretty quickly. Like it was
almost immediately that they accidentally
They
removed their
tweeted out today,
material.
we're not going to do
Yeah.
the Louis C.K.
Yeah.
stand-up special anymore.
And they're planning on letting Robin Wright, who played Underwood's wife, carry the rest of season 6 and the rest
Oh,
of that
nice.
show.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
that.
without Kevin Spacey.
Right.
So,
But sticking with Stranger Things, because
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
But overall, second season was good. It's. I think we can say it's one of our favorite shows on TV.
You'll
right now.
enjoy it.
Definitely.
If you haven't
Definitely.
watched it yet, which I'm sorry because we ruined it for you,
Yeah,
but
I hope
go
you
watch
didn't
it.
listen.
Yeah, I hope you didn't listen.
but even if you did listen, it's still worth it
Yeah.
because one, we didn't talk about the first season hardly at all. So that's.
But we
pretty
do
much
have
what
we do have our Netflix podcast where we do talk about the
We
first
do
season.
talk about it there.
Yeah.
I didn't talk too much about it.
Go listen to that as well.
Yeah. But as always, you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on SoundCloud, and iTunes. We're on everything
we're on
except
everything.
for Spotify, but
Yeah.
that's a whole different story.
Like us on YouTube.
Share it.
Let us know if you like us.
Yeah.
We're
Let us
still
know
trying
what
to
you
figure this
think.
thing out.
Yeah. It's fun so far. So
So far, for sure. Especially when there's the beers.
Yeah.
we gotta start drinking more, guys.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
Cheers.
As always, I'm Ricky.
I'm Ben.
Raj.
Cheers.